Hello everyone, Angry Patriot here, and welcome to this very special Angry Patriot Radio video report for September the 17th, 2016. Many of us have been following the events in North Dakota that are as a result of the protests that are mounting in regards to the oil pipeline that is being ran through Native American lands and burial grounds. Now, the mainstream media wants you to believe that these protests are very minute in number. But repeatedly, I've seen more and more videos and other postings that contradict the mainstream media's report of this protest. But rather than just get on here and talk about our government's treasonous, terroristic agenda and the outright treason upon our nation, I'm going to share with you a report that I really want you to listen to. It's about a 9-minute report, and then I'll be coming back to continue today's report. Take a look.
Truth Unveiled here, and today I have a very critical report to share with you. I'm going to be talking about the incident in North Dakota and just how bad it's getting, and if you don't think this is coming to a police state near you, oh, it's time to think again. Because here I am at KDLT and it says, North Dakota governor activates National Guard for protests, just like we saw how they activated the National Guard back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Very interesting. Then it goes on to say that the governor Jack Dalrymple is activating the North Dakota National Guard ahead of a federal judge's impending ruling on a request by the Standing Rock Sioux to stop the four-state Dakota Access Oil Pipeline. Then he says that a handful of Guard members will help provide security at traffic checkpoints near the site of a large protest. Very interesting that they have checkpoints already in place. Then Major General Alan Dorman, the head of the Guard, says that another 100 Guard members will be on standby if needed to respond to any incidents. And the riot police have already started mass arrests when it comes to North Dakota. Why are they even doing this? Just because people are protesting. And the question is, if you start protesting about something, or if there's another Black Lives Matter protest, or if there's any other national protest, will they activate the National Guard for it? Because they're already doing it. Little do we know. But then it says that the U.S. District Judge James Boasberg is expected to rule by Friday on the tribe's request to temporarily stop construction on the Dakota Access Pipeline. The tribe has been leading a protest for weeks at a site where the route passes near its reservation near the North Dakota-South Dakota border. The protest has included tense confrontations at times, and violence broke out Saturday between private security guards and the protesters. But just today, we already see the rioting taking place, because here I am at Activist Post and it says, riot police begin mass arrests at Dakota Access Pipeline and Facebook censors the video. I wonder why that's the case, just like they censor everything else, especially that has to do with truth and our government. But the actual report says it didn't take long after the National Guard was activated in North Dakota for militarized law enforcement to descend upon the site of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Today, actually, mass arrests began as riot gear-clad police attempted to break up Native American opposition to the construction of the pipeline, which has been halted at one location but continues elsewhere. According to independent news outlet Unicorn Riot, at least 20 protesters or water protesters have been arrested at gunpoint, along with medics and 2 journalists. Police issued a one-time warning to water protectors that any trespassers would be arrested. The warning came after several people locked themselves to construction equipment in acts of civil disobedience on Tuesday. And I've done several videos and I've talked about several government documentation and military documentation to even prove that this is exactly what they're getting ready, folks. Your government and military are vehemently preparing for these things and they're testing these things out because what you have no rights to begin with. They're stripping away every single thing they can. They're stripping away every single piece of land that they can. But anyone who's in opposition to it, well, guess what? That's what they're trying to do is call them civil disobedience and civil unrest because of peaceful protesting in order to what? Lock them into FEMA camps or lock them away into prisons, as we see with this incident here. And sadly, this is only just the beginning because it's only going to get worse from here. But what's even worse about this event specifically is that Facebook and many other mainstream media places are censoring it as if it's not even going on, as if it's not even happening. Why are they censoring these things? Because Unicorn Riot, which has been broadcasting live video of the tense standoff in North Dakota, says Facebook has been censoring their link from livestream.com. And why are all these police and military gear ready to go? Why are they even there if people are just peacefully protesting? What's the purpose behind all of this? And then it even says commenters on their Facebook page were also complaining that they could not share the video. Screenshots posted by page followers show Facebook blocking the link. Why would they need to do that? Now, the anti-media also talks more about the situation in North Dakota. Now, the problem with this is that the federal government is trying to build and construct an oil pipeline near Native American land and territory how many years later. But the problem with this is that it's reaching into Native American territory, as we see. And the other problem is, well, it's causing protests and riots. And because of that, your government decides to activate the National Guard. Oh my goodness. Now, although the actual construction of the pipeline has halted according to your government, it's only a matter of time until they get back to doing what they've already been doing. And if you scroll down even more, you actually see a picture as of September 8th, so just a few days ago. And as you can see right here, the National Guard troops have already been spotted operating a checkpoint near the protest site, and these are just some of the pictures below. But what if I told you that there have already been checkpoints already ready to go and set up come martial law, including in your local Walmarts and other major stores? What if I told you this? Because your government is looking for any little reason they can to declare martial law and bring in the military and the National Guard and militarize everything and suspend your already little to no rights that you already do not have. Now I'm here at the Huffington Post that says thousands protest North Dakota pipeline near Native American lands. Americans continue to rally near the reservation of the Standing Rock Sioux, who say their water and sacred grounds are under threat and attack. And like I said, this is part of the problem reaction solution that we're always constantly seeing. Now, this report says that thousands of Americans continue to protest in North Dakota on Saturday to demand the federal government to stop the construction of an oil pipeline near Native American land. The DOJ is currently reviewing the case after a federal judge denied the tribe's request to stop the construction as of Friday. Now, many protesters wore face paint and feather headdresses as they rallied and chanted against the Dakota Access Pipeline. The proposed route of the pipeline approaches the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, and the tribe argues that the pipeline would disturb sacred sites and could contaminate the drinking water. And mind you, this pipeline is supposed to go all the way and extend from South Dakota all the way to Iowa and even Illinois. What's worse about all of this is even despite all of the protesting and the peaceful protesting, the federal government is still going to do whatever they're going to do. Now, whether or not they'll actually construct the pipeline or not, only time will tell. But this is a report from Reuters, and the headline says protesters slam North Dakota pipeline, but the company is still committed. And this is no surprise from our federal government, just like how your government drug traffics drugs into so-called black neighborhoods while they don't even say anything, and just like how they're already poisoning our food with GMOs, not to mention how the water and the drinking water is already poisoned and contaminated. Just look at all of the fluoride in it, and just look at Flint, Michigan, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because your government has poisoned their water as well, but they're not going to tell you that. Just like they're not going to tell you how your government is responsible for the murders of millions of people under the guises of war and terrorism and weapons of mass destruction. Just look at 9/11 and who's really responsible for it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. And then, even worse, try to justify all of their heinous acts and actions like they continue to do on a daily, if not secondly, basis, and then brainwash us with mainstream media, what I call the real weapons of mass deception. But do you see it? I hope so. And so, of course, the question still remains, is this any different? It's not looking like it, because we know darn well that riots are coming to a police state near you. This is only just the beginning. Please seek Yahuwah and his true son Yahusha so you can be ready for all of this when it starts to take place, because it's only a matter of time. But this is Truth Unveiled here saying shalom.
Welcome back, folks, and I hope that that report opened a lot of your eyes. I really and truly feel that it's time that the truth be told and that the mainstream media be called out for their failure to address and report the true facts in regards to what is really going on, not just with this issue, but with everything that they are supposed to be reporting. Because clearly they are dropping the ball left and right here. And I really and truly feel that unless we, the citizens of this country, demand truth in reporting, we'll never get it. Folks, how many of you grew up in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and early 70s when the government was pushing fluoride in the water? They promised you that the fluoride would provide stronger teeth for your children and was safe in every regard. Well, folks, I could get on here and I can talk to you about the facts and the statistics and so forth and so on. But rather than do that, I'm going to share a personal side of what I feel is truly going on. I was born in 1958, and this was at a time when the government was really pushing fluoridated water. And I'd take care of my teeth, but recently I had a cavity issue and I went to the dentist to have that dealt with. And guess what, folks? I was told that I need not less than $1,600 worth of dental work. And take this from someone who is a child of the 50s and 60s, that fluoridated water was supposed to help protect against this. But in recent years, folks, we found out that fluoridated water was dangerous, to say the least. And it does nothing to strengthen teeth. Nothing. So that's why I've tried to get away from anything that has fluoride in it. Everything that I see that has fluoride, I don't touch. And that's my water, that's my toothpaste, so forth and so on. But my issue is this: if you take care of your teeth and you think that your teeth and gums are healthy, you better really look closely, folks, and take this from the Angry Patriot. The government has been deceiving each and every one of us for years. I'm going to be doing a report next week, matter of fact, about some of the food that you eat. Lunch meat. You think it might be produced here in America? Think again. And this is coming from labels that you would trust. But I'm not going to get into that on this report. I'm going to get on to that on the very next radio show. on Angry Patriot Radio. And if you want to learn more about what I'm going to be talking about, drop me an email at angrypatriottexas@gmail.com. And I'll give you the information on how you can tune into the show, and maybe, if you're interested, call in and participate. I would really enjoy talking to my fellow angry patriots. God bless you. God bless our troops. May God bless my fellow veteran, patriot, and Christian brothers and sisters. But most importantly, folks, may God bless America. Angry Patriot, out.